Good morning. Hello, everyone. This is Sabrina Lowry, the tech evangelist. Hey, Tammy. Hey, Tiara. Hey, Y Designs. Thank y'all so much for jumping on. Today is a little bit of bits and bytes. And today's title is The Digital Transformation for Entrepreneurs to Achieve Sustainable Growth with Data and Google Analytics. So, for those of you that are new to my platform, to my page, to my business, I am here to welcome you to Sabrina Lowry Enterprises. I do my live stream video blogging called The Geek Tank TV. And so, this is another one of those webisodes, and it is titled Bits and Bytes. So, today I am live streaming on Facebook, and I'm also on my YouTube page and IG. So, hey, everybody, this live stream is being powered by the joystick. I do have my tabletop joystick device here with me today. So, for all of you all that are watching live, we are being powered by the joystick. So, let me jump right into the content because I've just got a little bit of sharing for you, some great information. A lot of people ask me, as a certified Google digital strategist, what does that mean? How can you help me? How can you help my business grow? And not only that, but sustain growth, right? And so, what I would like to do is share just a little bit of information on Google's tool called Google Analytics. So, let's start with a live demonstration for those of you all that have your smart devices. I have an entire folder called Google. All of my G Suite apps are here. All of my G Suite apps are here. And so, what I'd like to do is introduce you to Google Analytics. So, let me go ahead and do my screen share. For those of y'all that are on IG, you can jump on over to my Facebook page, and that is Sabrina Lowry RE Tech. So, I'll go ahead and drop that in the chat for my IG followers so that every week you can catch the replay and all of that good stuff right on my business page. You may also join my group, Legacy Referral Masterminds. And so I've got that link also posted there. So here we go. Let's make sure I can see everyone in the comments. Do we have any live viewers? If you're here, tell me where you're connecting and watching me. Where are you from? What is your business? Just tell me a little bit about you and I'll give you a shout out on this live broadcast. All right, here we go. Timer is set, screen is shared, and we are going to jump right in to this Google Analytics information. So, how do you take control of data in your business? With rising consumer expectations, not only consumer expectations, but there are changes in the industry regulations because there are higher standards for privacy and data protection. How many of y'all can appreciate that like me? I know I can, right? And so, with that being said, you want to understand what even is Google Analytics. So, let's just start with a high level, basic understanding of what Google Analytics is. So, Google Analytics is a data tool. You're able to manage data in this tool. It is an app made by Google. And again, in my Google Analytics, in my suite of applications here, you want to go into the app and create a free account. So let me type in analytics. There it is. Google Analytics. There it is on the screen, the icon. Here we go. Let me make sure I get it in front of the right camera. There we go. And there we go. Let's make sure we are seeing here. There is the Google Analytics icon right there for you guys. So once you launch Google Analytics, it's going to ask you to log in. As you know, everything Google is going to be tied to your Gmail account. And if you are a G Suite user, then everything is going to be tied to your G Suite account. Meaning, if you are using your custom email address, that is fine too. We want to encourage everyone to use your custom domains. So for me, it is Sabrina at Legacy Realty and Management.com. Hey, Simply Mandy, thank you for jumping in. So, with that said, Google Analytics. This is today's tool. So there we go. Launching Google Analytics. There we go. Launching Google Analytics. Once you've launched Google Analytics, it says get started. Step one, get started. Get started. And if you are getting started with Google Analytics, you want to go ahead and attach it to your Google account. Go ahead and sign in, grant the permissions, all that good stuff. Make sure that you know where your data is going to be coming from, because this will eventually be tied to your business website. So again, Google Analytics is our tool of choice. And with our tool of choice is going to come an app. And so we want to make sure that you all are seeing that. Okay, so here we go. I am going to push this live onto my groups. Let me just make sure you guys are seeing me here. And let's go ahead and push that through. Okay, so with that being said, I want to make sure, give me just a second, IG, because I am multi-streaming. So I want to make sure that my Facebook followers are actually seeing the screen. If you are on my Facebook Live, will you give me some hearts and some likes? Let me know if you are seeing here. If you're seeing my screen share, let me just log in from my device so I can make sure that you guys are seeing me. All right, so let's go here, here, and are we live? Let's make sure, come on, make sure we are pushing through. Yes, we are. Fantastic. Perfect. Let me go ahead. Let's go ahead and copy that. Share. All right, perfect. I just want to make sure that we're live. All right. So let's move on. So lesson number one for today. In managing data with Google Analytics, there's going to be some questions, and then there's going to be some answers that you're looking for in order to truly use the tool as it is designed. So number one says, control the data settings in your Google Analytics account. This is one of the things that you will be able to do. Another thing that you will be able to do, let me go ahead and make sure that we are sharing this broadcast again. Let's make sure, share, start a watch party, and we are live. All right, there we go. Wanted to make sure I had that going so that everybody can learn a little bit of Google Analytics today, okay? So we're going to start this watch party. We are live, and here we go. So with that being said, let me make sure you are in Google Analytics. That is the tool of choice today. Secondly, we are going to then choose whether or not data is going to be used for our Google Ads campaigns. So how many of you guys are using Google AdWords campaigns? And if you are not using Google AdWords campaigns, this is yet another way to pivot your business to grow. Hello, mommy. Thank you for chiming in. I needed to see that comment to make sure we were pushing the live stream. So thank you so much. Hey, Preacher Miles, thank you for jumping on as well. The next thing in your Google Analytics is you're going to sometimes need to remove some of the data in the Google Analytics because it may change, and that is okay depending on your business goals. So let's just recap. Google Analytics allows you to control your data settings within your account, which means your website and all of your web pages. You're going to choose what pieces of data are going to be useful in order for you to evaluate your ads performance. And lastly is we may have to remove some of that data in order to truly get a clear picture of the results that we're seeing. Hey, just like Candy Inc., thank you for jumping in. So with that said, let's jump on to the next. So for those of y'all on IG, I am doing some screen sharing presentations on this learning opportunity. So you can jump on over to facebook.com/Sabrina Lowry, RE Tech. All right. So on my screen, you all will see that Google Analytics does provide real-time data. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that are not familiar with how Google Analytics works, it is real time. If you have real products and real services on your website that you are driving the users and customers to your websites, then real-time data is collected within the Google Analytics tool. So as I mentioned, hey Josh, hey Margie, hey Nita, hey Gio, I see y'all in my watch party. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you are going to stick with me for about 5 more minutes so I can just breeze through some of the important questions you're going to want to ask yourself as a small business owner. So, number one is your audience. Two is going to be acquisition. Three is going to be behavior. What's your user consumer behavior? And lastly, conversion. How many of y'all like to convert those leads into real dollars, real sales, right? So there are Google Analytics reports that are generated also, ladies and gentlemen. And in these reports, you have these 4 categories that you can drive data, customize, summarize, all of the information and look at this real data to see how you're performing. So in your Google Analytics reports, again, the 4 types of reports that we can generate are going to be audience data, acquisition data, the behavior data, and your conversion. So customization, as I mentioned, within Google Analytics is important because every business is different. I have multiple businesses, which means I run multiple ads on multiple pages, and therefore I need different data because I'm attracting different users depending on that product or service, right? So as a business owner, the same will apply to you. You will be able to customize the data that you are looking for, and not only that, but from a reporting standpoint, you are going to really want to pay attention to your driving factors, okay? Again, today's conversation is all about data. So in that Google Analytics app, in your admin controls, okay, so for those of you that are not so tech savvy, you hire a consultant like myself, or if you have your IT department, so those of y'all in corporate are familiar with there being an entire team of information technologists that support you when it comes to tech. And so they're the ones that are setting the controls in the Google Analytics. And on your dashboard, there are going to be account management features. Who has and does not have access here? Data properties, the user information, data views, and statistics. So everything about data is going to be in your settings. So here's the meat of this presentation. Are you ready? There's going to be about 6 or 7 questions that you're going to want to ask yourself. And so in order to generate real-time data with Google Analytics and then get those reports so that you can do your Google ad campaigns, this is question number 1. How do you acquire users and customers? Do you have a website? Do you have a storefront? Are you online? So the question number 1, how do you acquire your customers? Question number 2, where are your users or customers? Ladies and gentlemen, I may be in Atlanta, Georgia, but my business is global, meaning I am able to provide services to those that are near and far. Real estate is global. If I am doing business anywhere in the world, I need to know where you are and what your needs are in your specific location. So that's question number 2. Hey, Michelle, Barbara, Nina, thank y'all so much for jumping in. So let's go on to question number 3. When do your customers come to your website? Are they the early birds? Are they doing it on their phone? Are they in the car, at work? Is it that 9 to 5, what we call prime time, right? Business hours. And not only that, but you still have to factor time zones. So when do your users or customers visit your site? Next question. What pages do your users and customers visit on your site? Are they only on the shopping page? Which is a great problem to have, right? All of your products are listed there, they're itemized and priced accordingly. And so, hey, if that's your number one page, that would be great to know, because then if there's a product that's not selling, guess what? The analytics will help you determine that information. So there may be some changes. Hey, Keith, thank you so much for jumping on. I just want to make sure that I'm acknowledging everyone that's taken the time to jump on this live. Please share this video for all the entrepreneurs and business owners. So if you've never had a conversation or a lesson about Google Analytics, that is today's conversation. So the next question. I'm so sorry. Let's jump on to the next question. There we go. How are your active users and customers trending over time? Meaning, are they on your page for just a split second and they're going directly to the shopping page? Are they coming to your website only when you do your live streams? Are they coming to your class because you've got new products and offerings, and so on and so forth? So how active are your users? Are they coming once a day, multiple times a day, once a week, monthly, or just maybe every so often? So that is another question that Google Analytics data can help your business learn over time. Next question, one of the most important for business owners is going to be, what are your top devices? Meaning, what devices are your users and customers finding you? Are they doing a simple Google search from their smartphone device? Or are they on their desktop computer, because we are all still sheltering in place in this COVID-19 pandemic? And so that means that we are doing what? We are remote working, remote learning, digital classrooms, virtual events, and so on and so forth. And so pivoting your business is going to be crucial in knowing how your users are connecting to you, especially if mobile ends up being the answer. If they're on mobile, please make sure that your website is mobile friendly. That's my little nugget for you, okay? So, how well do you retain your users and customers? Are they the one-off buyer? They get what they need, they never see you again. It's almost like furniture, right? It's one of those products that I feel is done once in a lifetime, or at least every 20 years or so, unless you're in the interior design business, right? So how well do you retain your users and customers? Not just retain them, but how many times do they come back? Excuse me, that's a telltale sign right there. And here's our recap. The 3 ways to manage data using Google Analytics are: number 1, we are going to make sure that we are collecting this data, right? So if we are able to control the data settings within Google Analytics, you're wanting to make sure that you go in and get these settings tweaked. Second, choose whether or not this data is going to be used for your Google Ads personalization. If you are not using Google AdWords campaigns, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to tie directly into this data, which will allow you to pivot your business not only for growth, but for sustainable growth, meaning trekking along over time, year after year. I am celebrating 17 years in my entrepreneurial journey, and I'm not looking back. But I've only integrated Google Analytics in the past 6 years, right? And absolutely, you said, will this be imported, or do you mean, do you want access to my slides? I can absolutely drop a URL for the PDF ebook. Yes, that is absolutely going to be made available. I will make sure and upload that and share the link so that you can have that access. This is great, great information. And lastly, is you're going to want to remove the data from analytics that's just not applicable. That's just not helping you make executive business decisions in your business so that you're able to pivot accordingly. And so, with that said, are you ready? Are you ready to get started with your business with data so that you can pivot for growth, and not only growth today, but sustainable growth over time, ladies and gentlemen? That's what I like. I like to consistently remain in business, transaction after transaction, not having to worry about this failed yesterday, but it worked today. And guess what? That's going to happen too. And that is okay. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give you the website so that you are able to get involved with Google Analytics. And that website is analytics.google.com. Hey, Trinette, thank you for jumping in to the live and create your free accounts. Analytics.google.com. Create your free account. Let's get started today. If you need some technical support, y'all know that's what I do. I am here for you. I wanted to make sure that all of my clients, all of my students are familiar with the tools. I am a advocate of all things Google, as mentioned in my book. I will throw that up on the screen. And so, for those of you all on my Facebook Live, my book is called The Entrepreneur's Blueprint for Digital Dominance. There is an entire chapter on all things Google, G Suite, the Google business apps. How do I convert from being an Office 365 user to being on G Suite? What even is G Suite? There's so many questions that so many of you have. And so in my book, you will get a taste and an introduction of all things Google. So take a look. That book is available on my website. You can get access on sabrinalowry.com. And the second book that I have in my shop is my social etiquette. And social etiquette is my second book title. And that one is written for all ages, especially our younger generation, meaning we all have pivoted to remote and digital learning, digital classrooms. All of our socialization has changed, especially for our youth. And with that being said, there are some fouls, fat flag on the play kind of thing happening in our digital classrooms, in our remote classrooms, in this virtual environment. And I'm not just going to throw the students under the bus, because there are some adults too that need a little bit of etiquette training as it relates to socializing online, social media, Facebook, your website, your YouTube, your emails, your text messages, you guys. Okay. So all things tech in my book, Social Ed Tech Kit. All right, communicating with a conscious mindset. And that book is also available at sabrinalowry.com. Y'all check it out today. I will be happy to send autographed copies for all of those purchasing today. I've got some inventory I will be happy to share with everyone. And I just want to make sure that you all have your tools, right? So let me jump over here, give a little promo. This is live streamed by the joystick, okay? I just want to throw that up there. Make sure that you all are familiar with the joystick. The joystick device is my multi-streaming tool. As you all know, right now, I am live on 3 platforms: YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And my baby joystick is here today holding 1, two devices. I could clip on the top and I could have a tablet piece standing right here that has the ability to tilt. And so you guys see, I've got the watch party going. And so I am able to not only be live with you here, but I can actually see your comments and I can pay attention to my live streamers because that's the engagement that I'm looking for. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes another webisode of Bits and a Few Tech Bites. And this presentation has been all about Google Analytics data, knowing what data you need, and not only that, but how to access it through the Google Analytics tool. So I would love to welcome everyone for a free 30-minute business strategy call with me virtually, or I am now taking live appointments in person and our Atlanta headquarters. So if you are interested, such a time as this right now, go to sabrinalowry.com, click on the button on the very first page that says schedule a call, and it will direct you straight to my website. Hey, Doug, thank you so much for jumping in. This concludes another webisode of Bits and Bytes. My name is Sabrina Lowry. I am the tech evangelist, and I will look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you so much for tuning in and have a fantastic